Welcome to PD on the Go, the podcast that delivers bite-sized learning on communication, collaboration, and facilitation for busy teacher leaders. Tune in while you're in the car, on your lunch break, or making copies, and get ready to level up your leadership skills. My name is Hallie Case, and I'm with the Office of Professional Learning in Fairfax County Public Schools, and I'm joined today by my colleagues.
Hi, I'm Mary Beth Anderson.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Hazelbeck.
Hello, Erica Williams.
All right, so we've been really diving deeply into team effectiveness, and I think if you're listening to this kind of live with us, it's because we're in our summer phase, and that's often when schools start thinking about setting up their teams for the next year. And part of that work can sometimes align with the stages of team development. So that's what we're going to talk about today, or like where are the different stages that a team could be in. And Mary Beth's going to kick us off by just sort of giving us an overview of what these stages are.
Yeah, we have a really good reel for this. So if anyone is following along on our Instagram page, we have a reel that goes with Friends because everyone loves that show and thinking about the 4 stages. So the stages are forming, storming, norming, performing. So all rhyme. But forming is when people are first coming together. They're getting to know each other. They're starting to build those relationships. We would offer to teams that you might dive into looking at your working style, so you're getting to know each other, maybe starting to figure out what your strengths are, so then later on in the stages you could leverage those. But teams are figuring out how they fit together and how they work together. So they're forming, then they start getting some tasks, and that's where the storming part starts. So people are trying to figure out what the boundaries are. They're pushing boundaries. There might be some differing perspectives. They're trying to figure out how the best way to complete the task is. And then once they kind of are asking those questions and storming together, they start norming. So now I've gotten to know you a little bit. I understand what the task is at hand. I understand how you want to dive into it. And then we start norming and figuring out what are the ways we're going to work as a team. We might leverage some of those strengths. We can lift each other up into the work that we feel passionate about. And then lastly, we start performing. And that's where that function comes in really well, and our impact. We're starting to impact student achievement and the tasks in our team. So teams go through that stage, but they can keep cycling back. It's not like you start informing and then you end in performing. Every time you get a new task or a new challenge, you might go back to storming again to figure it out and then move into norming so that you can move forward.
Yeah. So even teams that have been together for a long time and have reached performing, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're always there. And it's not necessarily a bad thing to go back to the other stages of a team. So I think the next question then would be, how is it helpful for a team leader to know about these stages? Like, why would that support them in their work as a teacher leader? What do you think, Erica?
Well, I think one of the reasons I think it's helpful because it allows the team leader to know how to help the team move forward and sort of set the stage for like what the team might need and to have some open conversation around where the team is, how are they feeling, and in turn that can help them to all be on the same page and to then have some deep conversation about what is required for the team to continue to have a greater impact, whatever their focus is or their goal.
Go ahead, Rebecca.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like what you just said, and then I go, sorry.
That's okay, Beck.
I can't remember now.
Okay.
All right, well, I was going to say,
edit that out.
Delete. This is a natural, like we're norming as we're recording this podcast, right? And thinking about like that conflict is healthy for teams, right? So I think them knowing it helps to figure out like storming is part of the process and that your team's not doing anything wrong if you are going back and forth and having differing perspectives.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times team leaders would come to me when I was an instructional coach and their team was storming in a little bit. And once they recognized that these are all natural and normal and that all teams go through this, they were able to think about how to move their team forward. They weren't so stuck anymore.
Yeah. One other thing also is that It's helpful because that's where the growth occurs. Like sometimes having conversations and having ideas that are different from the other person, other perspectives, helps you to understand the collaboration. It deepens, you understand the individuals even better, and it allows for like new ways of thinking that might not have been explored before. So I think it's really the storming. We may not think that it's exciting, and it may be something that seems negative, but it can really be powerful.
Yeah, that's what I think too. It
Yeah.
seems like it's a negative connotation, but really in reality, it really helps you think of all the different ideas to make the best decision.
Yeah.
And if you know about these, then you know that, like, not to maybe take things personally.
Yeah.
That when we do have differing perspectives, it's important for us to talk through it so that we can get to the norming and not walk away from the table or the meeting upset.
So if you're a teacher leader or a team leader or hopefully an active participant in some sort of team, right, in a school, you could think, like, if things start to feel a little uncomfortable or unnatural or awkward or people are talking over each other, like, where are you in the stage of team development? And heighten your awareness of that, and it can help you make decisions about where you want to go next with that ultimate goal of student achievement. So we'll, as always, share some of these resources with you. We have a self-assessment that teams can go through together to identify which stage they're in for this team development, but also some other tools that we'll share. And we'll get a little bit more detailed in next week's episode on, okay, here's what stage I'm in, what do I do next to continue moving forward. So lots of good things can be found on our resources page, which we'll share on our Instagram account. Mary Beth mentioned earlier too. It's at FCPS_PD. So look for those resources there. Find our friends reel if you want to have an overview of these teams again. And we hope that you join us next week for more PD on the go.